Hey everybody, I am actually so glad that the people that are watching. It's not like we have thousands of views or anything like that, but Melissa and I are having a lot of fun doing this and trying to figure out what would be best to try to show people. And the only way to do that is to ask the handful of people that are watching this to, in the comments, let us know what is fun or interesting or what kind of work. So we're going to try to keep working through things that everybody said make it shorter. That was obvious from the beginning, so we're trying to make it shorter. We don't know how short, but we're working on it. And I think that we're trying to sort through the different types of content because we're recording a lot of stuff and having fun, but kind of don't know what to show everybody. So in this episode, we switched it up a little bit and showed a little bit more kind of like what goes on in one of our days instead of just like a job that I'm doing, which I still want to kind of show you some jobs that I'm doing. And then also in this video, we stumbled into a little storytelling session, just filming some short takes inside of one of the cars. So this episode sort of ended up being about the orange car and kind of how it came to be. So I hope everybody watches. I really hope everybody watches through to the end. And I get it, it's long and boring sometimes, but we're trying to figure it out. And I also hope that everybody doesn't mind, and I know y'all doing me a favor watching in the first place, take a minute and kind of let us know what you like and what maybe we could change to make it better, because we're really having fun and we really want to do this. Thanks. All right, welcome back. I'm glad everybody's checking back in, and I just want to let you know this is a little bit of an episode about things don't always go right. So yesterday I had a great plan to go grab another Beetle about an hour and a half, 2 hours away, and all I had to do was unload another Beetle chassis that was in the back of my truck, and here's what I created. See it? And I think we got into about, what, 45 minutes of... The end result was about 100 feet of tow strap pulling my truck up out of a mud pit, because yesterday I think we got 2 or 3 inches of rain. But if I get Melissa to turn around, I completed the mission. Look at that sweet little baby. 1967, one repaint. Looks a little rough. Somebody did the Baja on the back fenders, but it'll make a nice little driver for somebody. It's pretty complete too. So that's how a morning goes weird, but you still get her done. All right, I'll show you what I'm gonna do the rest of the day here. It is so buttery though. I don't know what soil it is. It's the craziest slippery soil ever. Butter soil. It's not so bad right now because it's frozen. Yeah, it's butter soil. So today's plan is, well, I'll tell you what the plan is in a minute, but I always wonder, does everybody move stuff around as much as I do in their car world or whatever? But so I always joke, I'd say half the time I spend moving stuff around, and it might be because I have too much stuff or I'm not organized. Somebody told me I'm not organized, which is awesome, because they're right. And anyway, today what we're gonna do is we're gonna move these cars to a friend's house, and we're gonna move the Milwaukee Miracle GTV car, which you'll hear more about, in here, and I'll still keep working on the Barry Mini T in here because we're gonna do a bunch of dirty work, and it's better to have the clean cars in a clean garage while the dirty work's going on. So, I know everybody likes barn finds and will it start videos, so Today we're gonna pretend this is a barn find because it's been in here since October, and I'm gonna have you guys with me while I do my yearly struggle of will it fire right up after being stored all winter. So the first thing I'm gonna do is see if it has any gas left in it. And every fall I do put fuel stabilizer in it, but the gasoline's so bad these days it doesn't necessarily make it that much easier. Just seeing if there's any bad gas left in there to even start it. Look at that. Little snag. Alright. There's some poor fuel in there. I think I'm going to try and limp it alive on that and then add fresh fuel. See if we have a battery. I don't know if you can hear the fuel pump. That's a good sign. Not very exciting. It's going to start right up.
careful though, because it's not warmed up. First drive of the year is a little nerve-wracking. The car's not warmed up. It's only 32 degrees out today, but I wanted to get it moved. So I wasn't really going to beat on it for you today. Some other day we'll go for a really rough ride. You can see we already moved that little guy before we got the camera here today. That went well. I'll take any really booster I get there.
Nice purse.
Thanks. It's a Merce. I know the remove before flight thing's corny and it's annoying, but that way I don't try to start the car with the caps on and suck the intake gaskets down in the engine. Guess how I know. So I guess the plan now is that car, which you guys have not seen yet. 1960 sunroof, one repaint. The car had never been apart. All four fenders original, hood and deck lid original. It got full metal repair, new interior, carpet, lowered. New brakes, new everything. 1641 engine, dual 40s on it. I'll show you this car another time. Do a whole episode on it. Oh, so anyway, so what we're gonna do is get these guys put in this garage just for a month until I get all the welding done on the Milwaukee Miracle car, because that car needs to be done at the beginning of summer. Welcome to my dream come true. So when I was 40, I had already been into Volkswagens for years and years and years and years, and I started to participate in an online group called the Cowlook Forums, I think it was called at first, or cowlook.com, and all that was were guys from all over the country like me, and some of them way ahead of me as far as messing around with fast Volkswagens or quick Volkswagens. I don't want to call it fast because there's so many cars that are really fast now that you can just go buy. And I had never had a super fast, or what I thought was a super fast car, and by today's standards, a quick car. I get it, there's a lot of really fast cars. But my dream was to, by the time I was 40, so I like to call this car my midlife crisis car, I wanted to have a 12-second street car. And for people that know, they already know that a 12-second street car is like a benchmark. And there were a lot of people on the Californ that already had 12-second street cars and knew how to do it. And I had my different tastes and things that I liked, so I formulated a plan or hatched a dream. And it's like super important for me to have dreams because it is what fuels me. I sort of build a picture in my head, and then with or without the resources, I start to like march toward it. And I can remember one time when I wanted to build this car. So for me to get things, I always had to build things for other people. And it's kind of still how I work. So that is like why I think it's important for everybody to realize I can't buy a Ferrari, but I can build a 12-second Beetle. And it's funny that the main source of money to build this car was selling a toy car collection. I can't remember what the market was like, but economists can tell me the value of the dollar was high or low in the United States, so it was easy to sell stuff abroad. And I sold off a really cool toy collection, Volkswagen toy collection I had, and it mostly went to like England and Europe, same thing, and to Japan. And it was basically enough money to get the drivetrain built for this car. But anyway, so my dream was to have a 12-second street car by the time I was 40. And I set out to build a 12-second street car. And the way that I did it was on the internet. I would buy it one part at a time. So I would work on other people's cars or build cars for other people and just watch for really good deals on other parts. And finally, I had enough parts for my engine. And I had my friend Tom Simpson in Ohio, who is my favorite engine guy. And he has built all my engines, put together an engine that we knew was a 12-second capable engine. And I asked people that had 12-second cars exactly how to set the suspension up and do all these things. And then, of course, I styled the car the way I wanted it. But so anyway, got the car finished and had to actually get a 12-second time slip. And it's funny, I looked in the pocket here in the car, and because I'm so organized, it's still filled with time slips. And a time slip's what you get after you make your pass at the drag strip. And I can remember getting ready to take my first run, and my friend Mike Hauer offered to sit in the car with me because I'm super ADHD and there's a lot to remember when you go down the drag strip. First of all, to be safe, and second of all, to not break your car. And so I ran my first pass, and I can't remember, but I think it was in the 13-second range, and I was like, I couldn't believe that I was that close to a 12-second time slip. But I guess the thing that was most surprising to me was how perfectly I had to execute launching the car and going down the track and hitting every shift at the exact RPMs where the engine was making maximum power to get my 12-second time slip. And it was the most fun thing. I didn't get it until I think I was 42. I can't remember. But it was definitely my midlife dream crisis to have a 12-second street car. And it actually feels emotional when I start talking about it. It was so fun to get it. And the most important thing I did when I look back on all of it was listen to the guys that know. The guys that told me exactly what to do, that had done it a million times themselves, like Tom Simpson and this guy, Mark Herbert, who was awesome from California. And sadly, he died in a car accident, but he was so kind to me, and both those guys were so awesome and helped me figure out exactly how to make a 12-second street car. And we're sitting in it today. I still have it all these years later. And I'll tell you what, the funny thing is, probably 10 years ago, I was making a pass, and I was in third gear, and I was sort of at the top of third gear, so like 6,000 RPMs, and I felt the car move weird. And I looked up and realized that my head was only about 10 inches from the windshield pillar. And if you look, this car only has lap belts. So I sort of realized, wow, I'm doing something pretty unsafe here. And I have since committed to getting the car set up a little safer. And I think this year I'm gonna try and get out and make some more 12-second passes. And you have to remember, I made 12-second passes driving to and from the racetrack at more than one drag strip. That's my big achievement. That's my midlife crisis achievement. Dream come true.
Did you say that you pull it up and people are like...
Yeah, when you get to the track in a Volkswagen, all the I don't even know why, but the Mustang guys especially try not to even like make eye contact with me. And at the drag strip, you sort of line up in this line called the staging lanes. And my first pass, they act like I'm not there. The second pass, they walk past the car and try to sneak a peek into the engine compartment. And then by the third pass, if I'm hitting 12s, they'll finally ask me, is that thing turbocharged or does it have nitrous? And it doesn't have either. It's just a big VW-based engine. It's not even the biggest VW-based engine, but again, it's built by people that know what they're doing, like Tom Simpson, and the car was set up on the advice of people that knew what they were doing, like Mark Herbert. So the car does exactly what it was supposed to do. And again, I had to be brave enough and hold my crap together enough to drive it semi-perfectly for a quarter mile for 12.8 seconds. But anyway, that was my midlife dream. So it's either the midlife crisis car or the dream come true. Got
So thanks again for watching if you made it this far. And there's an interesting thing that we would like you to look at the end. We're going to put a link to a video that my friend Mike posted. And I don't even remember the source of the video, but somebody filmed me at the local drag strip racing an old Barracuda, but it's classic because when we pull up to the line, you can listen to what the announcer says. It's a lot like what I talked about in the orange car video. All right, thanks again. Please subscribe and comment and do all that stuff that helps us get into the matrix of YouTube. And we're gonna keep trying. Thanks.
It's filming. Oh my gosh. I am, yes, I am.
Cut. All right, I'm all out of words. Fini. Fini.
What'd you say?
Fini.
You said you're all out of words?
Yeah. I'm out of words.
Since when is that a thing?
It's rare.